So over the weekend, I saw M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin. I'm not too extremely familiar with his work, well, except for that one.
The Avatar is dead. If he was here, he would protect us.
Yeesh. But not because I don't like M. Night Shyamalan's way of filmmaking or anything. Nothing against him as a director, writer, whatever you want to call it. But mostly because I don't really like horror films. Even when I entered the theater for this movie, I was a little nervous because I wasn't too sure what I was about to see because I'm that much of a little. But I got through it, and I thought it was good. I liked this movie. Yeah, I said it. I liked Knock at the Cabin. Hell, I'd see it again. The performances were all okay for the most part, but Dave Bautista really stepped up in this one. I was not expecting him to be as good as he was in this movie, and the chemistry that Ben Aldridge and Jonathan Groff displayed with each other on screen was really good. Pause. And I thought that both characters, Eric and Andrew, were great. But of course, the writing was easily the best part of this movie. Knock at the Cabin is a film adaptation to the bestseller Paul Tremblay's Cabin at the End of the World. I've never read the book, and seeming how the book was a bestseller, of course there are going to be people who hold the book in high regard that aren't going to like the movie. I mean, that's just how it is with books and movies. And I think that's why this movie is such a mixed bag. Some people really like it, and some thought it was boring and dull. I mean, everyone has their own opinion, so I guess can't really knock them for that. But I knew nothing of this movie, and I only knew who M. Night Shyamalan was, and that's the only like knowledge I had of prior going into this movie, and that he's a really talented filmmaker and director and writer. So I was excited for that. At the very least, I was excited for that. So I think that I bring like an objective point of view to this movie. I haven't read the book, but I did read an article about the book's ending compared to this one in the film. Okay, so in the book, it's a bit more dark. When Andrew and Leonard are wrestling for the gun, Andrew accidentally fires a round and it hits Wen, killing her. If you don't know who Wen is the she's Eric and Andrew's daughter that they adopted. She's just a child. She is the soul of the family, and I guess in the book it's that way too. And in the movie, it's clear that she's also the soul of the family in this film. And in the book, it's Sabrina that's the final member that to kill herself instead of Leonard. Sabrina actually shoots and kills Leonard in the book and gets Eric and Andrew to the truck they rode in on. But because she still has a duty to God, she asks them if they are willing to kill one of each other to save the world, and they reluctantly say no, and she expires herself. And after all they have been through, Eric tells Andrew that he needs to kill him to stop the apocalypse, and Andrew convinces him not to, and they begin to roam the earth together. Because after the death of Wen, how on earth would one live without the other? In the movie, that's not what happens at all. Instead, it's Sabrina who gets shot and killed, Leonard kills himself, and Eric convinces Andrew to kill him to make sure Wen lives a happy and successful life. And although I respect the book's ending, I like the movie's conclusion better. The book and movie are about a family that gets chosen to make two choices: kill one of your family members and stop the apocalypse, or watch the world burn. Throughout the movie, it's shown to us that Eric and Andrew have suffered a lot of persecutions in their time together. Them being an openly gay couple allows for a lot of judgment from the world. They are harshly judged by Andrew's parents because they are on that gay. When they go to adopt Wen, they have to make sure that they hide that they're a couple. They don't owe the world anything. So I think that the route the movie went down was better because I feel that they made the sacrifice not for humanity, but for themselves. Andrew did what he did because he and Eric felt it right that Wen grow up in a world that's, at the very least, the one her young mind can grow up in, rather than one that sees the end of humanity. They could care less about humanity, but because Wen has an opportunity and a potential, that's why they make that sacrifice. So all in all, I enjoyed this movie more than I thought I would. The theatrics for the most part were okay. I still think that Dave Bautista's was the best in the movie by far. Rupert Grint was probably the worst, besides the child actor, Kristen Cui, but she's just a child, so I won't rip into her performance. But for Rupert Grint, I wasn't really sure what he was going for. I don't think he can do an American Southern accent that well, which I think that's what he was trying to portray, but it ended up just sounding like a Midwestern American accent. But at the end of the day, I think this movie was good, and if you haven't seen it yet, I definitely recommend it. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Kind of a short one, but, you know, I just saw this movie, and I thought I should put my thoughts out there into it at least, and, give a recommendation on if you should see this movie or not. And without further ado, peace!